encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
Damn good coffee and hot.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with the Dog. You make me laugh.
That's what I got to say today. Like a horse.
Yes, testing 1, 2. Good morning, it's Alex Jones for Misinfowars.
I can't even do it. Good morning, folks. It is, what is it? It's Tuesday? Is it Tuesday? Tuesday, January 9th, 2024. I hope you're feeling better than I am. I'm still dealing with this COVID crap, and it's not fun. I'll tell you that much. It's just not a lot of fun. It's not something you should sign up for voluntarily. Anyway, I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are, and wonderful morning, and your day is off to a good start. We're going to talk about mental health today, and what else is new? Pretty much sums up what we talk about almost constantly on this show. But we have an author today who is a poet, and he knows it. I was going to say, and he doesn't know it, but he's also a Eagle Scout and a Marine, and a whole bunch of other stuff. I think he might be a film school student too. I'm not sure. Anyway, so we're going to talk about that, and particularly the idea of living with schizophrenia is really intriguing to me. I feel like I'm probably teetering on the edge at all times, most of my life. So it should be an interesting conversation. Just briefly, before I bring the gentleman in, last night, Donald Trump, I always thought, I'm laying in bed and I get a phone alert from news about things he says. With Lou Dobbs last night, he said that he's hoping for an economic collapse in America, a Great Depression, everything, the shit will hit the fan economically in America. And he says he knows it's bad for America, but it's good for Trump. And yet, the loyal minions, the cult, will not abandon this guy. He is wishing suffering on all of us because it's good for him. And you're still going to stick with him. What will it take? Does he have to kill somebody in your family for you to turn on this guy? Listen, politics aside, the man is nuts. And he's your enemy. He's wishing economic depression on you and your family because it's good for him. It doesn't get any more bizarre than that, but it's absolutely true. Absolutely true. You can hear the words directly from the man's mouth. And the actual quote is, "It will be bad for America, but good for Trump." That's what he cares about. So stop telling people, or stop telling yourself, that he cares about America. He cares about you. He doesn't. He never did. We've been telling you that for at least the 8 years that you've been joining the cult or in the cult. But I knew it for 40 years before that. It's really frustrating to see how there is no getting through. Anyway, our guest has gotten here really early today, unusually early. So I don't want to keep him waiting too long. So I'm going to bring the gentleman in. And Willie's in his new
Why are
state of
you
the art.
calling us gentlemen?
I told you I have COVID, didn't I? I'm delusional.
That's that COVID brain for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, am I
Yeah.
hearing?
Yeah, yeah.
I thought I heard some echo. That was you
Oh,
saying yeah. I thought it was me saying yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
we just lost Willie already. Willie's
You just
gone.
lost Willie already. Willie's gone.
no, I had
Yeah.
to,
See,
I
there
had
is
to
an echo.
unplug something that was making noise.
There is an echo. Some noise.
What are you wearing? There, that.
Oh,
What do you wear?
it's
What do you wear?
It's a
What do you
Cobra
wear,
Kai
baby?
shirt. Hang on.
Oh.
It's Cobra Kai.
Oh, I thought you were trying to mock
Keep the
my
leg,
sweater.
Johnny.
No, but like when I saw your sweater, I was like, God, we almost matched kind of. Except yeah, except I'm like the negative side and you look like the positive side.
Yeah. All right, we'll take that.
Positive, of course.
You got something to say about coffee? Forget
Yeah,
coffee.
Mine dog coffee. Strong enough for a man, but made fresh like a lady.
Mine dog
What
coffee.
Mine dog coffee.
Mine dog coffee. Going out of business.
Is it? I want to
and
ask:
tea.
Is this episode my mental health intervention? Is that what this episode's gonna be?
It's all of our yeah, it's all of that for you, me, and everybody else. I think.
Right.
I don't know. I didn't even know it's really possible to live with schizophrenia.
No, Jonathan Nash, one of
Keep it
my
under control.
idols. One of my idols, Jonathan Nash, suffered from schizophrenia and totally did awesome, amazing things.
Really?
So,
Wouldn't it depend on
Yeah.
the degree to which you have it, and how?
I would think so, because I mean, severe schizophrenia, I would think you'd have to be institutionalized for. But I don't know. What do I know?
I mean, I've
I'm
thought
gonna
about it a
learn.
number of times.
You could be institutionalized, or you could become an artist.
Or you
Right.
can become an-
Exactly.
But
This is just an FYI. I have workers in my house, so if I will pop myself out if they need me. We have a leak in my copper pipe, and it's leaking refrigerant.
well, it's the first time
Yeah,
you've
that's
ever
not
had
good.
a real worker in your house.
Don't drink any of that. Yeah, I thought you were talking about sex
Now
workers
you
as
tell
usual.
me, how am I supposed to know if it's water or refrigerant if I don't taste it?
That's right.
Stupid. That is so stupid.
Right.
Thanks, Willie.
Um.
It's not like I have this litmus paper or something, so I can just like dip it on the liquid and see
Right.
what it is. Test the pH.
Right.
Okay.
Oh man.
You're useless, Willie. You're useless. It's like
Right.
only
Now-
you knew anything about refrigerant.
We had workers in Friday, even though I told my wife I had COVID, and she told them that there was a chance I had COVID because
Oh yeah, and they said they didn't care, right?
they didn't
I
care.
remember. Yeah, they didn't care.
They haven't been back since now, but she still doesn't believe that I got COVID. You should get it. She doesn't believe it. It's just like wants
Did
me
you
to
not
take
take a
another
test?
test. Yeah, I did.
You have the stick the little pea stick, the stick that
Right,
you
but
pee on?
she didn't
Wait.
see it. And now she wants me to do it in front of. It's like
Listen,
everybody who was at the same event or got COVID. They've all been
Right.
tested. The chances of this not being COVID, and I know the flu from COVID by now. I mean, originally I thought it was the flu, but when you get things like your whole mouth hurting, a teeth ache, and you lose all sense of taste and all that kind of stuff, you know the symptoms by now.
you know what you should tell your wife? You should tell, especially since she's seen your positive COVID test, and you'd be like, all right, you should believe because you've seen, but blessed are those that haven't seen and do believe.
Right.
And I believe you, Matt. I
Right.
believe you.
Well, it doesn't matter. The point I was making was the workers coming in. Now, I was worried about giving it to them, but now that I think about it, you should be testing the guys coming into your house to see if they have it.
I mean,
so that they
yeah,
don't give it
no,
to
I mean,
you.
I could see that. You're not getting in my house without a COVID test.
Yeah, you don't want to deal with it. Believe me, it's more
Get one of
fun.
those scanners for your front door.
Yeah. So you didn't do that though. So these guys could be walking around your house with cootie bugs, and you don't even know.
That's true.
Everybody
That's
has
true.
cooties.
Put a
I
mask
was
on.
the weirdest thing at my point in my life, I was more concerned about getting pregnant than I was about getting COVID.
Wow.
Mainly because COVID, I have tests for that in the house. I have no pregnancy tests in the house, and so I
Oh.
wouldn't know until it was too late, and I couldn't get an abortion. COVID,
Oh.
I could find out relatively quickly.
That's interesting and dumb.
Yeah.
So let's run through a quick commercial, and then we're gonna meet Tyvon Conrad. I hope that I'm saying his name right. Anyway, he's
It looks right.
patiently
Yeah, I'd say
waiting.
that's probably right.
I think it's French. I think it's Tibonnet.
Tiffany.
Oh my god.
I don't
I'm
think
just
so.
kidding.
I hope he reaches through the internet and
he's not-
smacks
he's
your
not kidding.
GD.
He's not kidding. Anyway, let's run through a quick commercial and come back and meet the gentleman.
Hey there, I'm Mr. Geronimo, product manager for Tracy's Dog. What is Tracy's Dog? Well, for $50, we send you a high quality sex toy right to your door. Yeah, $50. Are our toys any good? No. They're f***ing amazing. Yeehaw! Each toy is made with body safe silicone. We are constantly evolving and innovating our product line. They are built for one thing, to shake your world with orgasms you ain't never seen before. Do you like spending $100 for your sex toy? 80 of it goes to retail. What about bumping into your family while at the sex toy shop? Good taste. Get the pleasure you deserve without broadcasting your secrets. And think of all the money we're going to be saving you.
Yeah. Whoa. GD's missing. He's missing. GD is missing.
Now GD's gone. What the hell?
Let me just. You know what? I should take him out while he's missing. I'll bring him back when he's not missing. When he comes back.
Yeah.
Kelly's in the chat room and she said something about Bingo. Bingo. I don't know that she was been diagnosed with schizophrenia. She could be. I don't know. Don't forget about Bingo Stanhope's lady. She's a great artist with schizophrenia. I know she has lots of issues, mental health issues. But the official diagnosis of schizophrenia, I don't know. Maybe, possibly. Kelly would know better than I do. Anyway, you know what?
She's a super fan.
Yeah, defining it would be a good place to start in our conversation this morning. Tyvon Conrad, I hope I'm saying this right. I'm shot, man. Help me. Is a writer and poet. He's an Eagle Scout and a United States Marine Corps veteran, a lover of music, art, and Greek mythology and nature walks. He enjoys traveling and exploring the world. He was diagnosed with schizophrenia in 2021, which he covers in his new book, Gone in a Bit. He's here with us now, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome in Tyvon Conrad. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
All right. Thank you for being here. Thank you for getting up early and being part of the program. Are you on the West Coast?
East.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because it would be extremely early on the West Coast, and that's what my concern there. Like, I noticed you were here early, and we wanted to not waste a whole lot of time. Generally, it would be a few more minutes before the guest comes in, but I saw you were here early, so thank you for getting up early. Schizophrenia. Can you define what exactly it is for us?
Schizophrenia. It's a lot of. It's like having vertigo. It feels like it's like being dizzy. It's like having hallucinations, hearing hearing things that may or may not be there. Nausea. Really bad acid reflux. Insomnia. I think that covers most of it.
Man.
Wow. Yeah.
Check. I got all those things.
Yeah, and that's what my concern now. Are all those elements necessary to be part of schizophrenia, or like just some of them, or can somebody just have like a few of those symptoms you just mentioned and still be?
I mean, as a schizophrenic, I mean, I can only speak for myself. Schizophrenia, I mean, people, it's different. It's different from everybody that that I heard about.
Okay.
From what I hear, it's different for all the symptoms. People have
Right.
different symptoms.
Okay. Now, does it come in degrees, like severity wise? I mean, especially with the hearing the voices stuff.
It yeah, it does come in degrees. It's a gradual mental health disorder. I know this, at the stage I'm at, what I have, what I'm dealing with, but I don't know if it could get worse. I don't know if it's going to get better with age, if age affects schizophrenia, which I'm pretty sure it does. So
Pretty
yeah,
scary, right? I mean,
yeah,
it's got to be.
it is scary. It is scary. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how you would deal with it, and that's the question here: is managing it and getting through your day-to-day life. Is writing and the artistic outlet, is that therapy for it, or is that just a way of kind of understanding it?
Very much so. It's a good escape away from my mental health disorder. Writing takes me to another place, time, another adventure, and I can get all my feelings out, and I can create something that I want to, and just run away from you know whatever I'm feeling, or if I'm sick, or if I'm stressed out, or if I have anxiety or depression. Writing just takes me away from all of it.
Wow. When you were in the Marines, an active Marine, were you diagnosed then? Did they know it then?
I started having symptoms in 2016, just early symptoms like feeling depressed, having a lot of stress, having a lot of anxiety, which is how schizophrenia starts out, in my opinion, and in my world. And
Right.
I started taking medicine. I was prescribed medicine in 2016 for it. And I started seeing a counselor. I started seeing a psychologist for it.
Wow. Now, this is interesting because medication can sometimes be like really, really debilitating. For me, I'm thinking back to stroke medication that I had on, that it made me into a zombie. And I'm wondering what the medication side effects from schizophrenia medication are severe like that. Do they slow you down? Do they make you feel robotic, zombie-like?
The for the first time, I was just prescribed Zyprexa for my schizophrenia, which worked well for me. I've been on over 30 some. I tried over 15 to 20 some medications that you're right, turned me into a robot, made me feel like a zombie. Um, didn't agree with my stomach, so I wasn't able to eat properly. Made me feel
Right.
aggressive, and
Right.
it's finally, and it does take a while, and I did go to hospitals, in and out of inpatient clinics, institutions, to realize and find out and come to this time in my life where I'm taking the right medications. I'm doing the things I need to do to feel better. I'm surviving, and I found a niche, which is writing. I found something that you know can helps me and gives me a drive in life, to just be a better person and feel better about myself and do something amazing. And the ending product to all of that was writing the book Gone in a Bit.
Gone in a bit.
Now,
Now, oh, go ahead. You got
yeah,
something?
I have a quick question. So, especially since you have had hospitalizations and stuff like that before, like now, do you have like a hard line in your patterns of thinking or particular behaviors that if you start exhibiting that, like you'll go to the hospital? Because like I know for myself, like I've been institutionalized a number of times, and I'm currently unmedicated. I have been for like the last 4 years. Um, and but I'm very on top of what's going on in my thought life and in my emotions. And like I've made a commitment to myself and to society, really, that if I get to a certain point of patterns of thinking, I need to go get checked out. You know, is
Yeah,
that something you've kind of placed in for yourself?
yeah. My visits to the institution, my visits to the psychologist, talking to a therapist or a social worker, I gathered skills subconsciously that helped me stay on track, but also
Right.
alert me if I need to, get help, get more help if
Yeah.
things
Right.
get really
Right.
bad, and I can't do it myself.
I got a
Right.
question based on what Willie just said, and Willie, you can chime in here, or Tyvon, if you want to answer this. But talking about monitoring yourself, I don't, that could be a really difficult thing, especially if it gets out of hand. Like, I know you
Right.
say I made this commitment to myself and to society, but if it gets really too far, you lose touch with reality. That can be a real difficult judgment call to make. So
Right.
I think you have to have a support system in place. Yes,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah. Yeah. No, and for me
family, somebody.
personally, I know that right. Yeah. The people in my life, there's very specific people who, if they catch me slipping, and what I call it is losing time. If I start losing time a lot, then I need to do something more to regulate what's happening, because losing time is not okay. Like, because that means that one of the other personalities is at the helm, and that's not something that I can allow to happen, because I don't trust those guys. You know.
That's a strange concept for me, losing time.
Yeah, I'm familiar with wasting time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm familiar with wasting time too. I
Yeah.
waste a
No.
lot of
What I
time.
mean. What I mean by so yeah. What I mean by losing time is
You
that
misplace your watch.
I'll go through. Okay, you know how you might be driving home or whatever, and like maybe you're thinking about something in your head or whatever, and all of a sudden you're already at your house, and you're not even sure what streets you took to get there. You know what I mean?
That
That's
happens to me a lot.
to a normal person, I'd say that's pretty similar to what losing time is. I'm sorry, what was that, Taiwan?
That happens to me a lot. I had to stop driving
What?
completely. Driving,
Right.
crashing my car, crashing all my any car that I got because of the vertigo, because of being dizzy,
Right.
because getting stuck in traffic. That has a lot. It takes a lot of effect on your motor skills.
So, do you have a support system around you,
Yeah.
like a strong
Yeah.
family that keeps an eye on you, or are you alone in this?
Um, yeah, I do. I do have people that I can talk to. Especially my psychologist and my social worker, uh, and a close friend. Yes, I do have people that can help me out.
Now, in writing the book, I don't know. For me, it would be really hard to be open and just transparent about this stuff with the general. You're basically letting strangers into your uh, damaged psyche, which is a scary thing to do. It's like opening the door to
It is.
anybody who wants to know all about your problems. Any ambivalence about that, or just difficulty with opening up in that way?
I put a folklore style twist to the book to cover up you know, actual events. It's kind of like reading if you read like Rumpelstiltskin or
Mhm.
like a Dr. Seuss book. It's got like a folklore style twist, Aesop's fable twist to it, to make it more like it's nonfiction, but it's kind of it sounds fictiony how I
Right.
wrote the book, and just to make it more fun, there's real world topics in there. There's religious references in there. Um, yeah, there's all kinds of different. There's I just put it together like that to make it sound interesting to the reader, but so they also grasp like that. schizophrenia is a problem. A mental health disorders are a problem. And it kind of like sticks out. So I wrote the book. So I wrote the book like that. So it's mental health awareness sticks out, in the book, but it doesn't. It's not like a cut and dry read.
Right.
Like so you're just reading like about mental health awareness, and
yeah.
this is mental health awareness. This is signs and symptoms. It's not like that. It's real folklore.
But when it comes to mental health awareness, I'm in this place where and anybody can talk to this. Basically, the idea is that we have 8 billion people walking the planet right now. I think everybody is short of the ideal of mental health, mentally healthy, and there are degrees to which we are short of that. Whatever that definition of how you define mentally healthy, I don't think anybody lives up to that. So, but do you think there are people who are not aware? Because everybody I seem to talk to in today's world, and I think the culture that we're living in certainly plays a part of this, is hyper aware of how damaged we all are. Do you think people are unaware? People are walking around unaware, and have you met anybody who was
I've seen people that look like they might be unaware, but there's also people that are aware, but there's also people that are scared
and don't give a shit.
Either don't give a shit or are too afraid to go get help because
it's stigmatized.
Or they're maybe afraid that they don't want to take medicine,
Right. Oh yeah.
Or talk to somebody about it.
It's just surprising to me that it is still so stigmatized when so many people are out there talking about it now, especially comedians. When I first started interviewing comedians, everybody I talked to billed themselves as a comedian / mental health activist. It's like, and there were in the first year, there probably were a good 40 of them. And so I started to think, well, I guess it just goes along with being a comedian is you have to be, you have to have had some awareness or dealt with some struggles with that or been in therapy or all that kind of stuff. So now writing the book, this is your first book, right?
Yes, this is my first book.
Did you have guidance in that? I mean, sometimes you just pick a pen and paper and start writing and start submitting work to people. But other times there are like, courses or whatever people who are guiding in the publishing industry help you writing your first book. Did you have some guidance or coach or?
No, this was all just me. It took about 4 years to write, 4 years to brainstorm. I wrote, I actually ended up getting in trouble. I got arrested because I went on somebody's property. I thought it was an old friend. Turned out it wasn't. I ended up spending time in jail.
I apologize about that. I'm sorry. I didn't recognize you at first. I'm sorry. I wouldn't have called the cops if I'd known. I wouldn't have called. I apologize. How many times do I have to apologize for that? You're on the TV, on the radio talking about it again. Damn it.
And I wrote the duration of the book that I wrote while I was incarcerated, but the other half was written shortly after.
It is a good time to write.
That little chuckle that you heard there, that's about what GD is used to getting in the comedy club. So that's a little more than he actually is used to getting.
Oh man,
it's way more. It's way
poor
more.
GD.
Well, I think you
way more.
A little more. Yes, I mean it's a difficult thing to write about, and it's a difficult thing to deal with. Now you finish the book, the stresses and anxiety of publishing the book. Does that does that contribute to the problem you wrote the book to kind of deal with? Now you kind of entered the professional world of getting it out there and to people, and kind of reintroducing yourself to the problem that you that you wrote the book for in the first place. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. The editing process was very, very difficult. Just making sure everything was put together. There was a couple typos that came back from the publishing company, that like with punctuation or like capitalizing, lowercasing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a very stressful time.
Well, that's going to happen to anybody in any creative art, but I'm thinking that with the things that you deal with, it exacerbates it and makes it worse than it would be. Nobody likes to deal with a proofreader coming back and saying there's some mistakes here you have to fix. But I think if you have severe anxiety and schizophrenia, it's just going to make that process even more difficult and more. Not defensive, but just harder to deal with, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Um, so now, the social, these, I'm thinking and I'm hoping the answer is yes. Stay off of things like social media, avoid the news and all that stuff. That stuff has got to be poison to you, right?
As a schizophrenic,
Yes.
um, I have, I use social media and things like that. I don't usually a lot. I kind of just stick to myself, really. I like to keep it quiet, surreal, listen to music, just, be in my own little zone. So I don't really use social media a lot, not really, only to
Yeah.
talk to family and like immediate friends.
Yeah, because to me, I think, I mean, what I see on social media, if you're not a schizophrenic, social media could definitely make you one pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So I would
Right.
think if you're dealing with that
Right.
to begin with, it'd be really, and the news, because the news is so just full of, anxiety and craziness, and the world seems
Well,
to be spinning out of control.
right.
That's a big factor with mental
Yeah.
health, and it's scary and it's sad for people who, they take it the wrong way and they end up committing suicide. Um,
Right.
suicide's a big
Right.
deal, and it's sad. It really is.
Yeah.
Do you do readings of from your book? Do you do live readings and stuff?
Oh no, completely
Huh?
exclusive. I don't. Yeah, I don't do live readings.
Is it stage fright that keeps you from doing it?
I just want to keep the book interesting. I don't want to give anything away, really.
Yeah, yeah.
But
No.
I do have an overview I'd like to read. I wrote it down.
Oh, sure, please.
Okay. This world has so much diversity. Sometimes people are blind to see a world of mystery that only colors can define. My poems bring things to the light and captivate the epitome of daily struggles. In a nutshell, creating a panorama on a fresh new canvas for all to see in plain blue sight. The idea of being in a lost and found, wandering around looking for hope in reality that's crashing down. My my collection of poems is a pillar concept of cognitive understanding and tranquility to form ideas where things don't connect, with therapeutic techniques of writing to create a subconscious understanding in a troubled world of fog and misunderstanding. Gone in a Bit is a schizophrenic's view of what it's like to be stressed out, fighting depression, living trial after trial, on the short end of the bargain where things don't come easy, to feel disconnected from life, while fighting a mental health disease. While fighting a mental health disease. Gone in a Bit is written by a schizophrenic, but it's designed to reach any audience that suffer depression, stress, and anxiety. It is also an intellectual read that covers a variety of real world topics and concepts with a folklore style, an open door for readers of any age or generation, a timeless experience.
Very good, very good. I hope it reaches more people. I'm very curious about schizophrenia and the different degrees that people can have it. I am not sure that, because it's really hard to differentiate hallucinations from a lot of experiences that a lot of people have, whether they're religious
Yeah.
stuff or all that kind of stuff.
Right.
People,
Right.
and where do we draw the line? And it's really hard to kind of know where the lines of reality are drawn. And so it's a fascinating subject. Um, are you? I said before. I think you might be in film school. Are you in film school?
I ended up quitting. It was
Oh.
just it got too stressful for me. The music, uh, the music business. I don't know. I don't think I guess I just realized that maybe it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say most of film school, because I've also interviewed a lot of independent filmmakers, and they say film school is really worthless unless you're really concentrating on the social part of it, the networking part of it, because
oh
it
wow.
it really it offers you the ability to make connections that will help you in filmmaking or all that kind of stuff. But the technical stuff you can learn in YouTube in 2 months or from a book in 6 months or something. So but again, I was thinking in terms of being a schizophrenic, the social part of it, the networking part of it, is going to be so stressful to be a constant, almost daily trigger. So it would seem like hard to equate going to film school while you're trying to deal with that part of anxiety and social anxiety, especially. So I was curious about that. As with plans for the future, do you have plans for writing more, or what do you, or do you not think about long term?
Absolutely. I'm currently writing my next book called The Paint That Covers Me. And it's a second edition to Gone in a Bit. It's going to be more in depth to Gone in a Bit.
Very cool. Well, we definitely. You guys got any stuff? Any questions before we let them go?
Yeah. Page 1. Okay. No, here we go. When you did poetry, I don't know if you're still doing poetry, but as a poet, this, do you have any poems that you think would be like really good songs? Because there's a difference between a poem and a song. The construction of which, but do you have any poems that you really like that you think would translate into becoming really good songs?
Yeah, the last poem in the book was actually a song that I wrote. And it was just, I picked out an instrumental. It was me and my friend when we were in film school a couple of years back. We did a song together. So I wrote the lyrics to my part. So I just turned it into a poem in poem format and put it in the book.
Wow.
Now, when you say turn it to a poem format, because
that's actually how I started writing lyrics.
Yeah. Did you delete the bridge or did you?
I just put like extensions on some words, took things out so it wasn't so choppy.
Yep.
Are you a musician? Do you play an instrument?
Right.
No. Yep. Just a writer.
Interesting.
Not just a writer. Okay, I'm sorry. Not just a writer.
Yeah.
These writers are like we're precious. We're not a dime a dozen like musicians and bass players and stuff like that. Real writers are rare. No.
Yeah.
Just for reference, he doesn't know anything about writing, or he doesn't know anything about writing music or comedy.
Oh my god, dude.
We're putting together a list of things he knows nothing about, and so anyway, we do appreciate you getting up and sharing. The book is called "Gone in a Bit." Let me get the URL. Now you have a new website.
He's doing it for you.
Yes, Vinehouse Online.
Vinehouse Online. Vinehouse is all one word. Man, I'm slow with this. Where the banners? Oh, I just created this one. Vinehouse is all one word. VINEHOUSE.online, and is where you can find out where you can get the book. It's available at Barnes and Noble and Amazon and all that kind of stuff too as well. But Vinehouse Online. Not just .online. Vinehouse.online. So I guess that's a new extension I never heard of. Online.
Yeah, I never. They gave me a few choices, so that's the one I ended up picking. I wanted a .com, but I guess I don't know. I couldn't.
Yeah, .com's probably got eaten up in the early 2000s. There's so many websites now, but anyway, we appreciate your time here and getting up early and sharing this information.
My old website was a .rocks.
That's cool.
.rock.
.rock.
Oh, that's cool. I don't mind.
.rocks is another one.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, no, it
anyway,
was a good one because I like because comedy rocks. Yeah. Anyway,
yeah. I hope
very good
you
to meet you, man.
message
Yeah, nice to meet you guys too.
meet some people and people who need to hear about it or are interested in it. Really, it's an important thing to kind of discuss. And thank you for being part of the program.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Bye for
You
now.
too.
Bye. Tavan Conrad, folks. Interesting
I don't
stuff
think he's
there.
saying that right. I don't think he's saying it right. I
Taiwan.
think it's Tivene. I think it's Tivene.
Well,
I
I
don't think
think
he's saying it right.
okay, you're
Oh my
and you're
God, really? He's not saying his own name right, GD?
right.
I don't think
Yeah,
so. I don't think
right.
so.
Well, his name
This
isn't
guy.
GD. It's good.
No.
His name
No.
isn't GD. It's good.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
My
right.
parents were Hebrew. They don't have any vowels in my first name.
Interesting stuff. Now, I'm curious about because you said that songs and poems, you know, don't necessarily translate. Or I don't know exactly what did you say.
They
Give
totally translate.
me exactly
Well,
what
they're
you.
not the same. When you're writing a poem and when you're writing a song, they're not the same thing. It's general for some.
Right,
you
but
said-
you
not
can, okay,
saying-
but in my opinion, it's super.
Who
It's
cares?
it's really easy to take a poem and make it into a song.
Yeah, I was just
Like-
gonna give it.
Like,
I think almost every single one of my songs can be just read as poetry, and
as poetry, of course it could,
um,
because music is.
I wanna read- I
music,
wanna
a
read the
song is
latest
more like
one.
poetry in motion, you know.
right. I want to read the latest one because I wrote this on my phone while I'm sick here, and I haven't actually. I know the music for it. I just haven't actually played it and sang it yet. But it's called "Stand Your Ground," and it's about the idea that everybody, as long as you believe God is on your side, and you're righteous, your cause is more important than your fellow man, and all that kind of stuff. So here it goes. It goes behind the unbearable brightness of the low winter sun. There's a howling in the distance of the darkness yet to come, and the people who are desperately clinging, trying to hold on to the past. They can hear the angels singing. In the end is coming fast. But with God on our side, there is strength to be found. For our race, our creed, and our pride, heed the call, stand your ground. You can talk about your religion and your politics and your team, but I don't want to hear about your vision because you don't know what it means to be truly part of something that is bigger than your clan. You got to believe in something, choose the brotherhood of man. But with God on our side, there is strength to be found. For our race, our creed, and our pride, heed the call, stand your ground. If you don't know that you're lost, can you ever truly be found? When the thunder from above makes an awe-inspiring sound, stand your ground. I was talking with Jesus and Buddha and Allah and the rest, and I told them there was some confusion about which one was the best. And the answer they gave me was simple, but I'll never understand. They said, just go on living and try to do the best that you can. But with God on our side, there is strength to be found. For our race, our creed, and our pride, heed the call, stand your ground. So that's the kind of
That's really good, man.
lyrical writing that I do. And I think every single song that I do, it sounds like that. You can read it as a poem or it can be put to music. So I think there are different styles. You certainly can have songs that don't.
Yeah,
that
there's
are
some
more
styles
difficult.
of poetry that it would.
Yeah,
it'd be very
it's not
difficult
like-
with some styles.
Yeah. I mean, there is like if you have a circle here of poetry and a circle here of
A Venn
music,
diagram is
yeah,
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
No, no,
Venn
not
diagram.
that, not the actor, but the two circles that overlap. Yeah, I'm not talking
Yeah.
about the
The
actor
Venn
Venn
diagram. Yes.
No, that's an
Yeah,
actor.
it's a Venn
That's the guy.
diagram.
That's the
That's
guy
a
from
Venn-
Pitch Black.
No, that's a Venn diagram.
You're
Look
talking.
it up.
You're
Okay,
thinking of Vin
we can
Diesel,
agree to
sir.
disagree. We can agree to disagree on
No,
this
we
one.
can't. I agree. I agree to agree and
Yeah.
only agree.
Oh my god,
Anyway,
such a picture of mental health. This show.
yeah, no, like I said, what else is new? Yeah, this whole idea about schizophrenia, though, because I think a lot of people are under the same impression that I was under for a long time, is that schizophrenia is just walking around always being completely out of touch with reality, like you don't have any grounding at all, and so the idea
I
that
mean, I can get to that point, but I don't allow myself to.
right
When you that point,
when
you
you
know
hear
what I
about
mean? Like,
schizophrenics, I think about people who are institutionalized, who are always hearing voices, never know really who's in
right,
the room with them at
right,
that time.
right.
But so it's weird to hear somebody who actually has
Well,
it.
and like, you know, one of the things my wife and I, right. And to be fair, I am technically undiagnosed with schizophrenia, but I think I told you guys about that the day. What ended up happening is that when they gave me the test, I forget what the name of the test is, but they gave me that test a number of years ago, and the results were so erratic that they were inconclusive. So they said that I had borderline personality disorder, but they straight up told me, like, we're labeling you with borderline personality disorder, but we're not exactly sure what's wrong. We know that you have a personality disorder of some type, but we can't specifically say what it is. And
See,
but
now,
and to be fair, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, psychologists are becoming like weathermen. They're making up. They're fucking bored,
It
and they're
sounds like
making up
this.
new shit.
Well, okay, but
It sounds
no,
like
but
this.
the problem is usually I think what the problem is that the patient, which I was at the time, but some patients aren't exactly forthcoming with all of the information that the doctors could use,
No doubt
because
about
you
it.
know there's certain things that you may not want to say to somebody because you don't want to get locked in an institution for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? And so I think that there was a degree of unfairness for them to, you know, to expect them to be able to narrow it down when there were things I wasn't willing to say because of my own fears of what that could mean.
Right.
But like
my
it
comment
also
wasn't.
means that because of that,
My comment wasn't just about your situation. It's the fact that they just keep coming up with these new
right?
diagnoses or names for diagnosis or new labels
Yeah,
to put on
yeah,
the same old things that humanity has been
right.
dealing with forever, and it becomes like
Yeah, they're definitely guilty of that.
at some point the labels become ridiculous. It's like let's get to what and
Right,
that's why I asked
right,
Tyvon to kind of define schizophrenia. He's not a professional, so he gave us his personal what the symptoms and the things that he deals with. But
right.
I would be really let's look it up. What the real what technically the definition of schizophrenia is, and
I did. I looked it up, and it just so happens that they had a picture of my first wife right next to it.
that's really funny. It's
It
and
was.
the same that we didn't even hear a chuckle. See, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Not even a chuckle from the audience. Um, Schizophrenia usually involves
Where's my
delusions,
laughter button?
false beliefs, hallucinations, seeing or hearing things that don't exist. He said that unusual physical behavior, disorganized thinking, and speech. It's common for people with schizophrenia to have paranoid thoughts or hear voices. Um, I didn't hear anything about the acid reflux or those physical things.
Yeah, that
Symptoms
was
include
surprising to me. I didn't know that.
delusions, hallucinations, disorganized thinking, extremely disorganized or abnormal motor behavior. Um, what does that mean? Like, this may show in a number of
Um,
ways, from childlike silliness to unpredictable agitation. That's me. Yeah, and this is the problem with reading these things. You can tend to self-diagnose this
yeah,
stuff
you
pretty
become a
quickly.
hypochondriac about
Yeah.
mental disorders.
Behavior
I'm
isn't
thinking.
focused on a
Yeah,
goal, so it's hard to do tasks. Behavior can include resistance to instructions, inappropriate or bizarre posture. This is all me. A complete lack of response or usefulness, and excessive movement. And that's not me, but
I'm thinking that the acid reflux is more like a side effect, not a symptom. More like so
of the
because you said
stress.
something about having
Yeah,
vertigo. No, or vertigo. So if you have vertigo, you'd be subject to like dizziness, and maybe you have like a desire to vomit or want to throw up, and you hold it back, and then that's the acid reflux. but I'm going to go let my guy back in the door. Talk amongst yourselves.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Negative symptoms. It says this refers to reduced or lack of ability to function normally. For example, one person may neglect a personal hygiene or appear to lack emotion, doesn't make eye contact, doesn't change facial expressions, or speaks in a monotone. Also, the person may lose interest in everyday activities, socially withdraw, lack of ability to experience pleasure. That's interesting because there are we call it the 10,000-mile stare. Those people just like you're
Right.
talking to them and they're looking through you and like 1,000 miles away. That kind of thing. I get a lot of that, especially in musicians. They just glaze over, man, and not just when I'm talking to them, which is easy to do, but
Right.
yeah, it's weird, But coming back to the mental health awareness thing, I don't know that. We need more. I think everybody's aware that we're all fucked up. That was my question. Like, do you think there are people? There are people who might be in denial about their own
For sure.
status or how fucked up
Mhm.
they are. But I don't think anybody walking the planet is not aware that human beings are fundamentally damaged psychologically. All of us in some way or another. I don't know. I'd be surprised. Kelly says she doesn't have that last one. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we don't.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the show for today. See you later. Bye for now.
Oh
That's
gosh.
it. I don't have a. I don't have a whole lot more to talk about here today. I am still a shot. I did not do anything yesterday. I basically stayed in bed with my phone, checking social media every 15 minutes or so. Watching a little YouTube, getting yelled at by my wife because it was too loud on my phone, and I was like, "Go in the other room, man." But that's it. So no business, I have no updates here about anything. Don't know anything that's going on. You have a show this weekend, Friday, right?
Okay. I have two shows this weekend, actually. I have a show on Friday. It's a sober show that's happening at Black Flag Studios in Sioux Falls. Very excited for that show. Chris Fryer is also on that show, and Dylan Times is on that show. And Kerner, Andrew Kerner. They added Kerner, who is the current South Sioux Falls. Like he's the current Brinkman holder. He won the comedy contest last month. So very excited to have him on the show. And then Saturday is the big Comic of the Year show. Preston Williams will be on that show. Jerry Irby's on that show. Alicia Rain is hosting. Dylan Times is on that show. I think Dylan's going to be on Coffee with the Dog on Friday.
Right.
I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
And he's the producer of that Black Flag show. So and honestly, I'm very excited to have him on. Super good guy. But yeah, Saturday we have the show at the Icon. It's going to be a big deal. And I'm excited. And for the first. Oh, okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yesterday, a songwriter from Sioux Falls signed up for the show, but then realized that he can't do it until 11 o'clock. We were off the air by 11 o'clock Eastern. What's his name here? Dennis Cockerham. Right. You know him?
Oh yeah. That's my bro. That's my dude.
Yeah. Well, he's
going to be on the show with me on January 20th.
Yeah, he can't do the show. He was gonna do the show, but he can't do the show because he I guess he works till 11 my time. Okay. So
now
he signed up for tomorrow.
So the Robots Rising guys, they want to do. Oh, he signed up for tomorrow, but he can't.
He can't do it. Yeah.
Did he reschedule or did he?
No, he can't. Okay. He can't do it
at all.
The
Robots Rising. Are we having a delay issue again?
You are.
I didn't think so.
Yeah, right. Okay. All right. Sorry about that.
Yeah. No. Go ahead. Robots Rising.
But anyway, Yeah, so they want to. There are three guys that want to come on, and I would like to have both hours with them. And they were talking about doing the first week in February.
That's fine.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, but I would like to do the whole show with them because it's going to be all three of them. They're going to be on together, and they're also tattoo artists and stuff like that. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot to talk about with those guys.
Well, there's a lot of names on the calendar here, but for some reason, I feel like we're not as booked up. Generally,
Yeah, it seems deceiving because I was looking at the calendar yesterday, and you're right. Like there's a lot of spots, but we're not as booked as it seems. That's for sure.
Yeah,
but I'll definitely work on that some more today.
I've been off for 2 weeks with this fucking shit that I'm dealing with. So, and I'm not thinking I'm getting back to work yet today. I think after this, I'm going back to my cocoon and saying one more day.
Well, I'll definitely do some work today on trying to procure some guests.
Yeah, well, thanks. I appreciate that. I want to. I got to reach out back to Brendan Walsh. He said hook up with him after the holidays. There's a bunch of people. Cliff Nesteroff, who is the author of Outrageous and the Comedians, a great writer, former stand-up comic, who is now a kind of a historic comedy history writer. I'm trying to get through to him and get him on the program. He definitely needs some help promoting his book. What is Mike saying? Will and GD, this is where the co-hosts take over. When the host of COVID, it's your platform, guys. That's what he's saying. Mike is giving you the platform.
When the host has COVID brain.
Yeah, Mike has given you the platform. So there you go.
I mean, I just try and do whatever Matt tells me. You know what I mean? Like,
all right.
I'm pretty good at doing what I'm told.
You know what? I don't know. We're going to see about that. I want to have Rob Bartlett back on the program, right? Rob Bartlett used to be on Imus all the time. He was a regular on Imus. But Rob Bartlett, when he was on radio, I never knew he was doing this stuff. But apparently, he was in full costume for all the characters he played, and would stay in character because I know you like to think of yourself as somebody who can not break character and stay in character for a real long time, except for when you're doing.
I try really hard. Yeah,
I know. With the tinfoil hat guy, you did very well. With that.
My face hurt so bad that day.
Right. But Rob would come on because you only know this because the later programs that are on YouTube where it's on video and you see that he's actually sitting there in full costume. So he was doing like Hillary Clinton and he would come on full drag or like lots of different.
I'm sure being in the costume helps. Yeah.
Yeah. And he would just like not break character at all, even in commercial.
Being in the costume, like mentally helps you mentally be. Yeah, right.
So we'll see.
I think I'm very much that kind of method actor, especially if what I'm doing. Yeah, the further coming back. Wait, what I actually am
on the delay here. Stop. I know you're delayed here. Maybe you should go out and refresh. But what I was going to say, because you said I'll do whatever Matt says.
You want me?
I could make you be Roseanne Barr for an entire hour. My guess, Roseanne Barr is in the studio with us and come in dressed as Roseanne and be Roseanne for an hour, like Rob used to do with Imus. And that would really, I think, we'll see if you're up to that.
Spit afterwards.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if you're really up to, because you said I'll do whatever Matt tells me to do. So, I mean, I could think of some really brutal things to tell you to do. It's all the point.
Matt, as a musician, as a performer, is there like a song out there that you played long enough that you just have your own set of quote quirky lyrics that you like to sing to that same song? Like you like forget the lyrics, you just want to sing something else over it.
No, I mean not no. I do.
Okay.
Occasionally will you know, during the day when I thinking of a song, make up ridiculous, stupid lyrics to it. But no, when I'm performing, I never even think, you know, it's stay true to the song and don't even really think about fucking it up or fucking with it. Or
Well,
Oh no, not while you're performing. I mean, I'm just saying song that you do perform. Like for example, let's say you perform Foxy Lady. Okay, or I'm trying to. What's the song that Hendrix did? Which says, "Excuse me while I kiss this guy."
Purple Haze.
Purple Haze. Okay, so let's say, not saying that you're okay. If you're performing Purple Haze, you perform Purple Haze the way Purple Haze is. But if you're just around the house and you just start singing it, but you got the music, but instead of singing Purple Haze, you're singing, you know, "Excuse me while I kiss this guy." You
Yeah,
know,
there's
something that.
not one song in particular. Generally, after a gig, I will be fucking that. While we're packing up, I generally whatever like the last song we played is can't get out of my head, and then I'm fucking up those lyrics like as much as I possibly can to make them ridiculous. I can't remember the last one I did, but it never occurred to me how easy it was to bastardize this song into something really dirty and stupid. But it was
right.
something the drummer sang,
When
and
I
I was
when I worked
tormenting.
in
Go ahead.
when I worked in the appliance warehouse, our warehouse manager was this guy named Hazen, and Hazen could take like the guy was a master at taking any song, and making the lyrics about poop or pooping or something to do with shitting. Like,
Was his
like
name
we would
Matt
do it
Farley?
with every fucking song.
His name wasn't
No,
Matt Farley.
no.
Matt Farley is a
No,
friend
his
who's
name
been
was
on
Hazen Bernard.
Matt Farley is a friend who's been on the program. He is a songwriter with 25,000 songs in his catalog. He's been on the Tonight Show.
Oh yeah, okay, I remember
Featured
that guy. Yeah,
as a guy
yeah.
who with poo songs. Every he's got I think 15,000 poo songs of songs about poop. And
That's fucking
basically,
great. That's awesome.
yeah.
I will say one of the
What?
you want me to leave and come back? I think I should leave and come back. I think I should do that.
You should do that because your delay is a little
Yeah.
a little weird. Matt Farley is also, I should say, a filmmaker, and he had promised to put me in his latest film. That was 3 films ago, but and he's in Massachusetts, which is only like a 6-hour drive. So I'm just thinking that, and I said this to him on Twitter recently. I said, somebody got to him and said that I'm really difficult to work with, or you just don't like me. But because when he came out with his latest film, I was like, I was supposed to be in this film. What happened? I don't even get a cameo. I don't even get a walk on. I get nothing. Yeah. Matt Farley snubbed Mind Dial in his past 3 movies. That's right. Let's give Matt Farley a hard time on Twitter now. Let's go on Twitter and say, hey, why are you snubbing the Mind Dog? Put him in your next movie or else. That's what we want. How's that? Willie, talk.
Yeah. Is that better? Am I regular now? No?
It's better in the sense that it's worse.
Oh my God! Yeah,
what?
It's much worse. Much worse. It was so good, and now it was good at least. You weren't.
Should I restart the computer and everything? What should I do here?
Yes, that's what you should. Yeah, maybe that's what you should do. You know what?
Right.
We'll take a break.
Okay, I'll restart.
While you do that, I'll play a song or something. How about that? I'll play a song. Can I play a song?
Do it live. Do it live.
I could play a song.
Well, how come you could do you have Late Night Guns on there? That'd be dope. We should push
I'm looking
that
for it.
That's a great song,
I don't think I have it in here.
Okay.
Lay down your guns. No, I don't have it in here.
I don't think you have it on our
Nope. I don't have Lay Down Your Guns in here.
I'm gonna restart my computer.
All right. I don't have Broken Borders either. I wanted to play Broken Borders because I put out a reel of it the other night, and all of a sudden it was getting a lot of traction. Broken Borders was a song I wrote in 1998, wrote and produced in 1998 about oh yeah, here it is. You know what? I'll just play it. It's about the border crisis now, because people think and are still under the impression that the idea of a wall only came up with Trump in 2015. And I was writing about the wall in 1998. I wrote a video about it, and it's basically the border situation, immigration situation from the Native Americans' perspective, and basically talking. It's the same talking points that Lou Dobbs uses about brown people coming across the border, except it's the red man talking about white people coming across the land and sea. It's called Broken Borders. It's a little bit long, but 4 minutes long. But here it is.
Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses, yearning to breathe free.
Is there a way to fade this sucker out? No. I'm gonna cut it off because it's just too long. That's enough. Enough of that. Goes on with the hey 99 nanas. It's all based on Geronimo and the Iroquois and the smoke shops on Long Island. That's what it's about. It's broken papers broken bongs or something like that. Anyway, yeah, the mole.
Broken sex toys with Geronimo.
Right. Kelly was quick to point out that the mole is. I don't have my mustache in that. I shaved my mustache off just to do that video, and the mole then was. It was probably about. It was a baby mole compared to what it is now. If I shave the mustache off now, it will be like super molization mole. It would be a gigantic mole. It was pretty big then, but it's much
Now
bigger now.
I have a question because I thought I saw like hair
I can't-
shavings in the sink next to the feathers. Is that the hair from the mustache?
Okay.
No,
Am I
no,
better
there
now
was
or
no.
no?
Yes, wait, talk. Look, let me.
Yeah,
Go
is
ahead.
that good?
Yeah,
Am I on
you're looking
time?
better.
Yay!
Yes.
Exactly.
No. I was beating on. You're talking about on the drum with the feathers.
I don't know. I just saw two feathers on something that was light, and I saw a bunch of dark lines. So I thought they were like hairs from like you shaved your mustache.
No,
So,
no.
oh, okay.
I shaved the mustache, but it was in a different room. What?
Oh,
That
okay.
that was my green room. I actually in the old house that I lived in Santa Mauritius. I painted because it was a big, gigantic house, and there was just two of us living there. I painted like 4 different rooms totally green, like ceiling, floor, everything. There's and that was one of those green rooms. It was
Really?
Oh, okay.
yeah, and I was on my green screen phase of everything and lighting everything like so that green screen so you get no shadows and all that kind of stuff. But then again,
Right.
that's 1998, so that's why it's in standard definition, which is a smaller screen. It was that was done when in the beginning of digital video. It was digital video cameras were pretty new at that time. Most
Yeah,
people were still
yeah.
shooting in high 8, but that's 26 years ago now. And the reason I put out the reel the other day was just to remind people that this is not a new issue. This issue has been with us for a long time, immigration reform. And as much as our politicians, and listen, I'm not going to put this on Republicans or Democrats,
Right.
as much as our politicians like to talk about this, it doesn't behoove them to fix the problem. They don't really want to fix the problem because if they fix the problem, they have nothing to scare voters with to go vote for them. They just want to complain about the problem. They don't want to deal with the problem. They just want you to know about the problem and be scared about the problem enough to get out of your seat to go to the voting booth and vote for them. Because if they wanted to fix this, the solutions have been there for a long time. And I've gone over what the solutions are, and they all know that. They all agree that the solution is comprehensive immigration reform by a couple of things: is making it easier for good people who are not criminals, people who are not gonna fuck up America, to come in and become citizens, a path to citizenship. Meanwhile, taking away all the incentive they have to leave their country that is, keeping them in poverty, keeping them down, keeping them under the thumb of
Right.
dictators and all that stuff. We have the ability to deal with all that. We don't want to and this is absolutely true, and because the Congress people, the Republican side of it, have a proposal that will help with that, and they don't want to do it because if they do it, it makes Biden look good for the upcoming election, and they don't want to do that, so they're not going to do that. The same would be if
Right. Yeah, this. Oh my God,
if
this
it
is
was
dumb.
reversed and the Republicans we had a Republican president, the Democratic Congress, they would do
Right.
the same thing because they don't want
Yeah,
them
they
taking
block it.
up.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do the same blocking bullshit with each other. Yeah, each side.
Right.
That's why bipartisan sponsored litigation, or not litigation, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When it's bipartisan, that's the best. But even then, it like whoever the main sponsor is, you're still going to get flack or resistance or whatever. The whole, especially as far as the legislative branches of our government, is fucking worthless.
It's most
Like beyond fucking worthless.
Ian's saying it's Mole City under that mustache. Actually, I think it's more like a hamlet or a town. It's not like a full city. It doesn't have a mayor or anything like that. It's just
Or its own police force.
The mayor of Mole City is a booger.
right. Yeah. Did you hear? Now, this is not politics, but it's something Trump said. Did you hear what he said about what he plans to do? He told not Lou Dobbs 2 days ago. He said he wants to build a dome over the United States of America to protect us from missiles, I guess, or it's basically a much.
You mean like the Iron? Yeah, I was gonna say like the Iron Dome that Israel has.
Kind of more like a real dome. It's like an advancement of Reagan's strategic defense thing, but with a real dome on it. It's like, don't let the flat Earth people hear about this, because the flat Earth people believe there's already a dome over the entire pizza pie flat Earth. So this would be like a subdome within the dome. And at what point do we just become like a Santa Claus globe, one of those fucking snow globes that you have where it's crazy. But yeah, that idea of I don't. Do you give up? First of all, it can't be done to build a dome over the United States.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But
then how are you gonna have international travel? Is it gonna be like the fucking Cowboys Stadium where there's like a retractable part of the dome where a plane can fly through?
Yeah, like
and
the
go
Jetsons.
over to Europe. Or
I think
what?
I think this is for a scene from the Jetsons.
That's one of the dumbest fucking things he said yet.
Know.
Yeah. Fucking oh my god!
I think there's something like that.
I think he looks for dumb things to say just to distract people.
That's quite possible. The magnets thing,
right? Yeah. How idiotic can I get before? And they're never. And you're right though. No matter what this guy does, people are never going to get off him. I don't understand it. It makes no goddamn sense to me. Like the dude's a buffoon at this point. Like,
Ian says he thinks it was an episode of The
his
Simpsons.
policies are. You can't be this fucking stupid and run our fucking country.
I think it was an episode of The Simpsons when Mr. Burns tried to block out the sun. Here it goes. I'm going to get attacked for this. I've never watched The Simpsons.
Oh, okay. So we don't talk about that more. Yeah, I've never been a big watcher of The Simpsons, but I heard that they've predicted quite a few crazy things that happen. So not Simpsons isn't the only show that does it. I know that there's other ones. I can't think of them off the top of my head. But does that not concern people? Why don't we talk about that more? How like it's obvious that time travel is a thing. There's no fucking way that people are predicting the crazy shit that they have with that, dude. It's so fucking scary.
Well,
you know what?
I'm gonna have things. It's like 100 monkeys. It's like the theory about giving 100.
Yeah. See, this is the stuff, rabbit holes and stuff like that.
Willie, you're back in.
Like, it does. It messes with my head, and I get like.
Speaking of time travel, you're back in a deep delay.
I got delayed again? How did that happen?
Way by a big amount, and now you're getting pixelated as well. You got Wi-Fi issues there, or whatever you're connected to. Is really, it's just slow. You got a nice, pretty background now. You got your sound working, but your connectivity is just like maybe you need a booster.
But like I've noticed, like on my phone, it kicks me off of the Wi-Fi sometimes.
But yeah, you're way behind now. But that's time travel right there. That's a bit of time travel. Willie we are in the future.
You want me to go? I can just go. You want me to go?
Yeah, go. Yeah, go. Get out of here. What were we talking about now? Oh, time travel.
Well, I was just
you were talking about the 100 monkey syndrome.
Right, you get 100 monkeys with enough.
We're talking about
enough books, and they'll write. Okay, yeah, and time travel and The Simpsons and how much they got right. And I'm just saying that you do enough episodes about the future, and eventually 3 or 4 of them are going to, be close enough that people are going to say, "See, it was predicted." It's kind of like in print, like Nostradamus. He wrote like what 900 quatrains or something, and
Well,
some of them are going to.
it's really easy to go back and equate and try to fit a prediction into the reality that happened. Basically, if you keep it sketchy enough um, and without enough details, you can go in and fit anybody's predictions into a real event and say, look, they were onto something. Alex Jones did that last night. He was talking about how somebody came, it wasn't him, but he retweeted it. But it was somebody saying how he accurately predicted 9/11, right, with great detail. And if you see the clip, he didn't give any details. All he said was, I could see the United States will do a false flag operation that will get us into war. I mean, and how do you equate that with predicting 9/11 to a detail, with great detail? It's not. But the people who see that will say, see, he knew about 9/11 before it happened. Yeah, we've had lots of, people would say Pearl Harbor. There are a lot of people who would say Pearl Harbor was a false flag operation. I'm not sure I agree with any of that. And I've had a historian on who I asked about that. And she said flat out, no way. That's her opinion, of course. Let's see. Any better? No,
I don't know.
I
Is
think
it? Is it better?
I don't think so.
Is it better at all?
We
Fuck
hear you
no.
fine. Like
I hear you fine.
Yeah, but you hear me late.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like
I did that a minute ago.
You did that
5
yesterday.
fingers, real fast.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, you did that yesterday.
Yeah, that was yesterday's show.
That's so weird because like we haven't had this issue much before, have we? Like over the last week, like last week or whatever. Because I mean, nothing is different. Like I'm on the same Wi-Fi that I've been on.
Kelly says
no. I just charge up the.
Slows down. I like that slowies down. I can't find the spot when I want in a movie. Yeah.
I was wondering how I sounded.
Wow. Okay.
Right.
How is my audio?
Did you see the guy who got out and pushed the people out of the way at the people blocking the Holland Tunnel over Palestine and Israel and all that stuff? The pro-Palestinian protesters blocking.
So they took your advice?
Yeah. Well, the guy, he just got out and he went to fight him, and they kind of
just saying yesterday.
I was saying
I should fucking do that over there.
I was saying they should nuke Palestine over it. It's like, hey, okay, you're gonna. No, that's a little drastic, obviously, and I wasn't really being serious about that. But just showing that. But this guy just got out of his car and said, "I got a daughter that lives in Brooklyn. Get the fuck out of my way." And he was ready to fight him, and they all just like got aside, and he just drove through. I was like, "That's not really determined protesting." When one guy can get out of his car and threaten you with kicking your ass, and you're all part like the Red Sea, that's not like a
and fucking get moved.
Yeah. Suck up your bandwidth. That's what Chevaux is saying to you.
Suck up your bandwidth. I did turn off the Wi-Fi on my phone to like give more, Wi-Fi power to my computer.
Is there anybody else in the house?
If I turned off the Wi-Fi on my phone, that it would help the computer.
Is there anybody else in the house online right
Danica's here, but she's probably.
Well, I would go murder her.
And then
murder her.
I don't know.
No, I would go murder her. Go murder your her aunt and uncle, and then we could do a good show. It's for the show.
Oh my god! It's for the show. Yeah, I'll do anything better. Nepo tells me.
There you go. You said you would do anything I told you to do. If I told GD to go murder the workers in his house now, he would.
Not right now because the heat is off and they're refilling the refrigerant.
After they finish their job, you will.
No, let them finish. Let them finish.
But before I get the bill, let them finish. But before I get the bill,
try smacking the computer like a caveman discovering fire,
like the Joker.
In honor
like
of
the Joker in the Dark Knight. As soon as you finish your part of the job, done.
There was I used to work for a company, a really bad company. I don't want to call it by name.
I am Danica's sex toy. Believe that. That's for sure.
I used to work for a company called I'm going to just say it rhymes with Comcast, and
it rhymes with Comcast.
It rhymes with Comcast. I used to work for that company, and so
I'm sure
I go to this guy's house. And he's an elderly guy. I mean, he's like in his 70s and 90s. He's like really old. He's old. He opened the door for me, and I introduced myself, and he lets me in, and I look at his wall, and he used to play football for Ohio State back in 1938 or something like that. Back with the leather helmets and shit.
Was he also in the Ink Spots?
No, you're thinking of Herb Kenny.
Right.
This was a white guy. He wasn't in the Ink Spot.
No.
Unless he was in one of the other Ink Spots, a different color. So, but everything in this house was Ohio State, Ohio State, Ohio State, Ohio State, Ohio State. And so I said to him, I said, sir, before I come in your house to work on your cable, I just think you should know something about me. And I open up my jacket and I'm wearing a Michigan Wolverines sweatshirt. And he looks at me and he goes, get out of my house. And I said, before I fix your cable, then he says, fix my cable, then get out of my house.
Wow. Did you fix his cable?
Yes, I fixed his cable and then got out of his house.
Well, you were going to do that anyway, though, right? You weren't going to stay in his house.
No, I wasn't. No.
Moving in.
Yeah, I mean, who fixes it and then just hangs out?
Well, unless you saw the Jim Carrey version of the Cable Guy.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, Cable Guy. Yeah. Oh god, Billy. Yeah. All right. Anyway, I'm so sorry.
There was another house I went to. I used to work for a company that it runs with DirecTV, and when I get to the guy's house, he's showing me around, and where I needed to get to, he had a rifle leaning against the wall, but it was right where I needed to work. And I asked him if he'd move the rifle. I didn't want to touch the rifle. I asked him if he'd move it. And he goes, you have a problem with guns? And I said, well, yes and no. But I'm not putting my fingerprints on your gun. Would you please move it? And so he moves the gun.
Right. I'm not going to grab your gun so that you can go murder somebody today.
Wow. And that's the other thing. When he opened the door to let me in his house, he was strapped. He had a gun on his hip when he let me in his house. So I noticed he had pictures of children on the wall. So I'm just saying he's wearing a gun in the house, and so I noticed there's pictures of kids on his sofa and stuff. And so I'm making jokes, making him laugh and stuff like that, talking about kids and fatherhood and stuff like that, and he's laughing and everything. And then when I'm done, I leave. No incident. About a week later, 10 days later, he requested me to come back to the house. And so I returned to his house, and he wanted to apologize to me. And I just said, no need. I said, he goes, I want to thank you because you made me think about my kids and what was worth living for. He had his gun on his hip because he was going to shoot himself after I fixed things, because that was the last thing on his list of things he wanted fixed, so that his family wouldn't have to worry about fixing things. And so once I was done, he was going to kill himself.
Wow.
And he said that me making him laugh and think about his kids.
Wow.
He thought about, made him want to stick around. But he was, another small point. He was also going to kill me as well. he was going to shoot me and himself.
Fuck.
um,
He could have saved
so
me a whole lot of trouble. And money.
And the thing is, he didn't have to tell me that. He didn't have to tell me that. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to invite me back to his house to tell me that. I did not need to know that story because every house I went to after that, I started thinking, did this guy want to kill himself? And the last person, he's like,
is this motherfucker planning on killing me?
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Every house after that, there's like the next 200 homes I did before I left the company that sounds like DirecTV. I wondered, is this person wanting to kill me? Does this person want to kill me?
Wow.
I'm going to make them all laugh so that they don't
that
kill
alone
me.
could give you schizophrenia. Yeah.
Okay. That's one because you kind of have, and you probably didn't do it, but you kind of have or had a claim that you could have put in with work there for as kind of like a
mental anguish.
Yeah, I don't know, unreasonable risk of whatever injury on the job, and get some compensation for that because
I had a real injury that I got on the job, and they fought like hell against that.
Oh no, they would fight it like hell without a doubt.
And they didn't pay for that either.
Right. So that I just gave up on. Yeah, screw that. Yeah, any mental anguish. And none of that, I said it was a bad company to work for. Working for the company was more stressful than thinking that I was going to get killed in someone's house.
Wow.
Because at least in someone's house, I felt like I could always talk my way out of that. I grew up in the city. I talked my way out of a lot of situations.
And that was a company that rhymed with DirecTV, right?
Right. It rhymes with DirecTV.
Right. Correct, PP?
I guess I left too many clues. I left too many clues.
Erect.
I made it too easy. I made it too easy for you guys. Damn it.
Inject wee wee. I don't know. There's so many companies that rhyme with DirecTV. But you know what? Just go into people's houses. Any occupation where you're going to people's houses, you never know what you're gonna fucking get into or what you're gonna see there. I think it was a phone installer that came upon Katie Beers. Katie Beers was, and you guys probably don't know that name. Katie Beers was a 9-year-old who was abducted and kept in a basement dungeon. But I believe it was a phone guy doing an installation or repair on the guy's house that discovered the girl in the dungeon and was able to free her. You never know when you go into somebody's house what you're going to be walking into. Those jobs where you have to go into other people's houses, strangers' houses. You're walking into a mystery, a cold case mystery, potential cold case mystery every day. How many houses would you do every day when you worked for that company that rhymes with
when I worked for the company that rhymes with DirecTV, it was probably about 8.
So those are 8.
I did service calls and installs depending on which portion of my career I was at.
Now, did you ever have? Maybe you don't want to disclose this, but it would be really interesting. Like show up and a woman saw, the typical porn story where the porn script where she's already in a negligee waiting for you to install for her or connect her.
I have so many good stories. I have so many stories like that. But I have one.
Oh,
I have one that's really.
His wife might be listening.
No, it's okay. She knows. I think she knows these. And like I said, I don't have any secrets from her. I just have shit I don't tell her. So So this was back when I was living with. I was living with a woman. I was living with a woman. She took my name as her husband, but we weren't legally married. We were together for like 7 years. I was living with this woman, and she had this really, really attractive friend, really super attractive friend who could have been a model, but she wasn't. And she requested that I come do the service at her house. She requested me.
She was.
So I get there. I get to the house, and she shows me where the issue is. It's in her bedroom. And while I'm working on the problem, she changes into like a see-through nightie, And she comes in, and I'm like, holy fuck.
Man.
And she starts coming on to me. And I
Yeah, that's
said,
a test all
I
day,
said,
bro. Don't fall for
I
that.
said, I have a girlfriend. I'm living with her. And she says she'll never know. Now this was on a Friday. She said to me, she'll never know. She wasn't coming back to our house until Monday. So in theory, I would have had sex with her on Friday, and on Monday she'd be back at our house, hanging out. This would have been on Friday. I did not sleep with her. On Saturday, she died in a car accident, which means literally my my girlfriend would never have known. And I could have, and I thought to myself after, it's like,
no one
I
ever
was at
would
the
have found
funeral.
out.
Right. I was at the
Man.
funeral. Everybody else in the funeral is thinking, oh my God, she had a child. And the child was like 6 years old. He's never going to have see his mother again. And I'm thinking to myself, fuck, I could have hit that. Damn it.
I think you would have probably been a murder suspect, though. We found, basically, we found semen.
Yeah,
in
no
it
kidding.
that
Yeah, your semen. Yeah.
No, I don't know. They wouldn't have found my semen. I was a hardcore rubber guy.
But she died in a car wreck?
She died in a car accident the next day.
Her brakes were loosened?
Not by me.
But yeah,
I didn't loosen. No, when I left there, the only thing
she
I
got shot by
was
that guy that wanted GD to move his gun.
The DirecTV guy, the pizza guy, they must all have stories. He wasn't a DirecTV guy, by the way. He worked for a company. He worked for a company that rhymed with DirecTV.
Exactly. Because I don't think it rhymes with DirecTV. Because I would never say something bad about a company on a show like that.
Why?
So I would never talk about like Liberty Mutual disdain for their customers or
what was the
Comcast.
Wilford Brimley had a line about Wilford Brimley's line about Liberty Mutual. I forget. It was like a ridiculous tagline about Liberty Mutual that Wilford Brimley.
Yeah.
But that's another thing. From the Imus thing, they used to fucking make fun of Wilford Brimley all the time. There was this Wilford Brimley addresses the Thanksgiving turkey, and basically he ends up fucking it. But if you can imagine listening to Wilford Brimley fuck the Thanksgiving turkey. But yeah, it's being committed. Going back to what we were talking about before, committed to playing a part.
The first thing I ever saw on the internet, the first thing I ever heard or on the internet was Daffy Duck getting a blowjob. That was actually my internet cherry got broke.
Wow,
listening to Daffy Duck getting a blowjob, or Donald Duck.
Donald Duck. Oh, that's different than Daffy.
That makes a difference. Yeah,
big difference. Different ducks. A whole different breed of duck.
It does. It makes a huge difference.
Daffy was a white duck, which is like one of these domestic white duck. People have them as pets and stuff. But I mean, Donald was a white duck. Daffy was a black duck, a wild duckling. The kind that you hunt. Nobody would hunt Donald Duck.
Yeah.
Nobody hunted the white duck.
It can't be hunted anymore. Elmer Fudd doesn't have a gun anymore.
Really? I did not know that.
Well, they took his gun and the red flag laws.
Yeah, they took the gun away from Elmer Fudd.
That's fucked up. No, I'm surprised they were even doing newer version of whatever the Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck stuff. This Elmer J. Fudd.
I did not know that Aunt Jemima's real first name was Pearl. Did you know that?
Yeah.
What?
Pearl Bailey. Everybody knows that.
No, Aunt Jemima.
Her real name is Pearl Bailey.
Real first name was Pearl.
I knew Pearl Bailey. Seriously.
Yeah, and she was she was Aunt Jemima.
No,
so how did you know her? Because I know how I knew her. How did you know her?
I first met them. I was 1 year old when I first met her daughter. Her daughter was my age, and we were sitting in
Okay.
first class on a cross country flight, and I ended up playing with her daughter and became friends with her. And then Louis Belson, who was her husband, my parents became friends with him, and then she used to watch me. While my parents used to go gambling in Las Vegas, I would stay at Pearl Bailey's house and play with
Wow.
her daughter when I was a kid.
How can you and I have like so much like crossover in our lives and never have met?
I don't know. Aunt Jemima, an American breakfast and blend
Right.
pancake. The original version of pancake mix was developed in 1888 and 1889 by the Pearl Mining Company. It wasn't a woman named Pearl. I remember there was Nancy Green. Nancy Green was the first woman who portrayed Aunt Jemima in the 1920s. But so that's the backstory on that stuff. It had nothing to do with Pearl Bailey. Well, all right. Let's
Are you
see. Let's
sure? I
yeah.
think this is another thing where we can agree to disagree.
No. Let's hear your Pearl Bailey connection.
I saw her on television.
Oh, there you go. Now, Louis Belson was like the first guy I ever saw play drums. I was 2 years old.
Television.
And sitting on his not his living room, but on the floor in his house while he played drums. Louis Belson, who was the Tonight Show drummer for a 2-year-old kid, and I'm just being like mesmerized at the drums. But so that, and then I believe because probably about 20 years ago, I tried to reconnect. I believe Pearl Bailey's daughter, who I was friends with, and I didn't even remember her name, ended up dying very young. I think she had some drug problems or something like that. Could be wrong about that. But yeah, so come because you reminded me of King Arthur. You know, are you guys aware of the King Arthur flower controversy that's going on right now? King Arthur flower. Pearl Aunt Jemima pancakes reminded me of the flower thing. Because Mrs. Butterworth didn't have the same controversy that Aunt Jemima did, where they had to take her off the box and all that kind of stuff.
Right, because she was only brown when the syrup was up.
Yeah, and Mrs. Butterworth is still
right, and once you started pouring it, she got less and less brown. So
the King Arthur Flour Company is based in Vermont, and they are having a baking contest for people of color only. No whiteys allowed, and people are freaking out about it. Like, you know, like
what the fuck? Now, how is that not racist? Tell me that. How is that not racist?
Of course, it's racist. But like, do you really care that you can't be involved in a bake-off contest? I mean, is it going to really? I think you're right.
Okay,
if you want to talk about,
I have no care or concern about it whatsoever. But
what color of the flour?
White.
Are they using white flour or white? Oh, see, then that's not right. Then you can't have using white flour. You can use their flour, but you can't use the people.
I guess
wrong.
I get the double standard. It is definitely a double standard as far as if equality laws exist, then you shouldn't be able to do that. But I can't see getting really emotionally worked up about it that I would want to like cause a national boycott and get online and start a
But see, like
you might want to give them a fuck you.
Right,
hey,
yeah,
fuck
no,
you.
that's all, I mean, that's all ridiculous. I mean, but my thing is right. Yeah, it's just I just don't. It bothers me that because like I've never been a racist person, you know. So like to me, I treat people based on the merit of how they are in particular, you know. And so it's like I don't fucking get it, man. I don't get how you guys and how these groups or whatever can be, you know. Okay, we don't like your racism, so we're going to be extremely racist in return to say how bad your racism is. You know what I mean? Well, like it don't make fucking sense to me. That
company is.
What is the reasoning? What's the reasoning behind them having the contest? I don't have a real serious response to the contest, and I don't have a serious response because I don't know what the reasoning is.
I don't know what the
Right.
reasoning is too, but it's worth pointing out that it's all white people that own the company. It's weird. It's like they're probably GD's wife
Fucking said that
left
too. Oh my god.
leftist, and trying to,
So they just hate
They-
themselves. Fucking.
Or it could
might
have been
not
like
be
because didn't like was it Walmart? No. Yeah, I think it was Walmart that had like for Black History Month had like an ice cream flavor. Was it Mandingo Tracks? I don't know. I'm making that up. Uh, no, somebody has to. Actually, I'm taking that. All right. The truth be told, that's Ron Kane tells that joke. How Walmart has Mandingo Tracks as a flavor, and it says freedom never tasted so
What
good.
the fuck?
I don't.
So
Uh,
so now we're
yeah,
okay.
saying goodbye to Govs real quick here. Govs, you really caught a beautiful show